WinPack is a mature, stable product that's designed to expand as your needs grow. The basics of controlling who can go where and when are accomplished through the use of time zones, access levels, and cards. First, a time zone is a schedule that determines when something is going to happen. That can be when a door is locked and unlocked automatically on a schedule, or when someone will be allowed to access that locked door with their card. Through the use of a graphic display, you will set up your own schedules. First, you start by naming the time zone. Then, you see the days of the week on the left-hand side, and across the top you have a 24-hour time frame. This graphic display is very easy to use and understand. So if you want to set up a schedule for your warehouse employees to be able to access from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., you go here to the Monday line and you drag across until you have Monday set up for 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. If the rest of the days of the week are the same as Monday, you simply click Copy Monday to Weekdays, and it fills in the rest of the week for you. So, in our example, you are now done setting up the time zone for your warehouse employees. If this time zone was going to be applied to a door, the door would be unlocked during the yellow area on time zone, so from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. But the door would not unlock on Saturdays, Sundays, or holidays. Next, an access level is used to assign privileges to an individual. You'll combine your employees into groups that have the same access privileges. For example, all warehouse employees may be allowed in the same doors at the same times. So let's set up an access level for your warehouse employees. You'll start by naming it. Then, on the right-hand side, you'll see all of the readers that are available in the system. You'll go to each door that a warehouse employee would have access to and assign it the time zone or schedule in which they'll have access to that door. So you'll assign to the front and side entrances at the corporate office warehouse access with the warehouse time zone. So for each group of employees with the same access privileges, you simply set up an access level for that group. Now that you've covered access levels and time zones, the final section is the use of cards with card holders. Card holders are your employees. So to add a new card holder, you simply put in their name, click on the Card tab, and assign them a card. The card itself has the number printed directly on it. You type that number into this field. Choose whether to make this card active right now, or you could leave it inactive and give it a date in which to activate it. So if you hire Brenda today, and she doesn't start until next week, you can just pick her start date off the calendar. Go ahead and give her a card now. Assign an access level to her. Click OK, and the card will become active on that date. You can also, at this time, assign an expiration date. So if she starts next Monday, but is only going to be employed here for a few weeks, you can pick the date on which to expire her card. Automatically, after the expiration date, the card will become inactive whether or not she gives it back to you. Also, you can click here on Add Custom Access Level. If Brenda doesn't quite fit the access level that you've assigned to her, in our case, warehouse, you can go here and give her additional privileges, or remove privileges, or you can do this temporarily. For example, for the first week she's employed here, let's say she has to go to the Chicago office for training. So in order to do that training, she'll need access at a door in Chicago that she normally wouldn't have access to. So you can temporarily give her the access she needs. In this case, just one door, and that's the employee entrance from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. You can then say she starts on the 11th, and that's the week she's going in for training in Chicago. So you'll give this customization just for 1 week. So on the 11th, her card will start working on the employee door, and the 15th, it'll stop working at the employee door, but her main access level that you originally assigned does not change. So you can see that the software is very graphical, very easy to use, but flexible and powerful. Now that you're done setting up Brenda's card, you can go to the Card Biometrics tab and capture her photo. Print a photo ID and capture her digital signature if you wish. You'll cover that more in the photo badging section. So once all these items are set up in Brenda's card, you have now determined where she can go and when, and given her card an expiration date and an activation date. Now that you've seen how you control who can go where and when, let's look at the reporting side of WinPack. Reports tell you who went where and when. The main report that is used is the Card History Report. You start by putting in a date range for which you want to see history. Then you can filter it down by individual. So if you want to see all activities for a certain person in your facility, you would put their name in here. You could also filter it by door. So if you want to see all access attempts by Brenda Smith at the front door, you can do that by filling in this information, and it will give you those actions by the date range which you've chosen. In this case, you want to see all activities by everyone at all doors over your date range. You click the Print Preview button, and it displays on screen all of the data that you've requested. You can see you have a variety of reads. You have Eric Lopez coming in the front door at 1:12 a.m. On the 7th, you have Mark Luno coming in the front door at 11:02. You also had some invalid card reads like Card Not Found. Mark Taylor used his card at the front door even though he never has access there, and it told us that on January 18th at 1:13 p.m. he was denied access. Other reports that might be of interest to you would be the History Report. How the History Report is different from the card history is the History Report also allows you to see when certain alarm conditions came in, such as door propped open or door forced open alarms. It will also show you when operators logged in and out. Other types of alarms, like guard touring. You have the similar filters, but now you have an additional tab where you can define what you want to see, like when a specific door was propped open. So again, you fill in your filters, run your preview, and you get the same types of results. However, there are many more results since this mixes card reads with all other alarms and events. When it displays on screen, it shows us when our power was lost to the control panel. It shows us when you lost communications, alarms from our intrusion system, database changes, etc. So the full history report shows you everything that happened in the system. The Card History Report shows you just card reads in the system. There are a variety of other reports here as well. One in particular that you'll find useful is the Card Frequency Report. This is a report that tells us how many times cards were used at specific entrances, and also allows us to manage our card database as it applies to that information. For example, if you want to see from the first of the year through today anyone that has not used their card at all, you can do that by running this report. It brings up a list of everyone who has not read their card at all in your system since the beginning of the year. You can also decide if they haven't read their card at all at a specific door, you could reassign them to a different access level. So if they have access to the accounting reader now but haven't used it since the beginning of the year, you could say they don't really need access to the accounting door, so you'll remove it by assigning an access level without the accounting door. Or by doing zero frequency at all doors. If they haven't used their cards in, say, the last 6 months, you can just automatically deactivate that card. So if you have former employees that still have an active card but haven't used it in a while, this report will help find and deactivate those cards. Nearly every report that is available also allows you to export the results. So if you do not like the way that it is displayed on screen, you can use the report filter to generate the information you'd like, and then export it to a delimited file. Open it up with Microsoft Excel or some other report generation software, and manipulate the data however you would like. So again, you can see the interface is very flexible, very powerful, and very easy to use.